Hello guys, this is Tropical Rat, and I wanted to talk a little bit about growing up. And as a Gen Z myself, and if you are a Gen Z or a millennial, or well, if you're already a boomer, it doesn't really matter. You're going through, or you've been through, the experience, the human experience of growing up. And it's scary, in a sense. At the same time that it's scary, it's also confusing. It's also happy and unhappy. It's a lot of things at the same time. We have a lot of expectations on us, and at least for myself, I can tell that I expect a lot from myself. And I expect myself to be an adult and to have my shit together and pay my bills, provide to my girlfriend, provide to my family, provide to myself, and be a respectable member of society. But sometimes I really miss being a child, and I know I'm not the only one who feels like this. This is something that humans in general miss. I think that the older we get, the more we just miss childhood, the more we miss the infant days and when we were more innocent. In a way, those moments were when we were free, at least from anxieties, free from responsibilities. And those responsibilities are exactly what makes being an adult so difficult and so scary a lot of times. Having to communicate with other adults, socialize with people, and to really look around at the world and see yourself in a sea of uncertainty and people who expect something from you, or maybe they don't expect something from you, but you yourself do. At least this is what I feel. At least this is what seems to be the truth for me. So what exactly is this video going to be about? What exactly am I trying to say here? Well, it's just that I really wanted to just share this, to share my experience about growing up, about coming from work and still wanting to have free time for myself. And I am very privileged to have a lot of free time for myself, but still, to not understand what is going on. And the world is very hectic right now. The world is very disruptive and crazy. We have AI taking over the whole internet. And it sucks that nowadays we have to look at videos and ask ourselves, well, is this a real person speaking, or is this just AI generated? AI is getting so scarily good at making real life videos. It's crazy. Nothing feels real anymore. And yeah, trying to fit yourself in this world when all that you heard when you were a kid was just promises of a world that doesn't really exist anymore, or well, we don't really know if it ever existed, but saving your money, buying a house, affording things, having a good life, that world might not exist anymore, at least not for Gen Z, and for millennials as well, I reckon. That doesn't mean it's all doom and gloom. I don't think that we're all fucked. This is just a new time, a new generation, and we are learning from the mistakes from the past humanity. We are learning from all of the actions that we took, and we are understanding the truth of those actions. And now maybe we're just trying to fix everything or introduce ourselves in society, in a sense. But anyways, going back to the topic of growing up, I have noticed that it's been increasingly difficult for me to insert myself in social gatherings, and it's being more difficult for me to be around people because I don't feel adult enough to be around those people. Not that I am totally a child still, but I do see myself as a child sometimes, even though I am currently 24 years old. And some might say that yes, I am still a child because that's very young. Others will say that no, you're not a child anymore. Obviously, you're 24, you're an adult. You can take your own you can make your own decisions. And yes, I am making my own decisions. But it's very difficult when the world and people around you, who are, of course, older than you, are constantly judging what you do, judging your actions, judging what you do. And it's almost as if deep down I have this feeling that people will always see me as a kid no matter what I do. Thus, it makes it increasingly difficult to feel like an adult. And maybe no one really feels that way. Maybe everybody is just trying to understand what life is and what being alive really means. And for us Gen Z, I feel like the world doesn't really respect us that much. Of course, I'm not painting ourselves to be the victims here. It's not like we have all of the privileges and people should respect us for basically doing nothing. That's not what I mean. But the older generation, they do seem to not understand how we think. We grew up with the internet. We grew up in a different world. We grew up doing different things. And we had different opportunities presented to us. Not everything was available to us in the sense of job offers, money, and just adult life things. And maybe because of that, a lot of adults, and by adult I mean people maybe 35 years old and older, probably older than that though, they still see us as kids, even though we're not kids anymore. We are just now getting into the adult world. We're trying to figure our stuff out. We're trying to really just fit in and understand how everything works. We are going to be the future of the next generation. And yet, people don't really seem to acknowledge that we're trying. The others don't really seem to acknowledge that we are still learning, in a sense, that we're not kids anymore. And we are trying, but everyone seems to treat us as kids because we're young. But anyways, I might have yapped a lot in this video. I don't really know if any of what I said made sense. I wanted to make an unfiltered version of what goes on in my mind, and I might be doing this for a while now here on this channel. I believe that we need more people creating on the platform. We need more people creating in the world, especially now that AI is doing everything for people. We need real human creations, and this is my take on it. It's just me talking about something that has been bothering me for a while. I hope people can relate to it. If they can't, well, that's okay. Maybe it's just a me problem. If it's not, then yeah, let me know in the comments. Say something about it. Share your own thoughts. Maybe we can have a good conversation about it. Yeah, thank you for watching.